In this series of videos, I'm going to tell you about the Merrill-Reed model. So we're going to go through different communication preferences. In this video, we're going to focus on the first communication preference, driver. Driver as a dominant preference is objective focused. People with this preference quickly get to the point, and they get very impatient if someone else doesn't quickly get to the point. So if you are 5 minutes into the meeting and you're still chit-chatting about the weekend, driver is probably checking their phone and getting visibly impatient. They are competitive and demanding. They enjoy competition because they tend to win, let's be honest, and then very demanding when it comes to themselves and when it comes to everyone else. They are also hardworking and determined to succeed. Typically, this would be your top performer in terms of KPIs. Last but not least, they don't shy away from conflict. If you put two people with driver as a dominant preference and they disagree, it looks like a violent argument when you're looking at them. So they argue, and then they can just brush it off and say, hey, let's eat lunch. Like nothing happened. And for other communication preferences, this can be shocking. But for someone with driver as a dominant preference, it's just about facts. What if driver is not your dominant preference, but you are working with someone who has driver as their dominant preference? How do you adapt? Well, the first thing is focus on results. Focus on checking things off the agenda. The second important thing is they like concise information. So give them as little as it's needed for them to start doing things because they hate wasting time. You'll notice that they focus a lot on efficiency. If they can save 5 minutes, that's a huge win for them. So if you can do something in 15 minutes, don't chit-chat for the remaining 15. Just finish the meeting early. They'll be very grateful. Another important thing is being businesslike and factual. So no emotions, it's just business. Last but not least, avoid details. Details are not necessary. They only slow us down. What I need is helicopter view, and then I can move on from that. So we have plenty of amazing traits. We have people who are determined, achieve results, and they are hardworking. But think, what could be the downside? If you have someone on your team who has driver as a dominant preference, what are some of the things that they are missing? Something you can help them develop. Well, the first thing is patience. Time is of the essence all the time for someone with driver as a dominant preference, which means they get very impatient with other people. And this can negatively impact their relationship. The second thing is empathy. Since they are so focused on achieving results, they pay very little attention to other people's emotions. Again, this can have a very bad impact on the relationship they're trying to build. Last but not least, listening skills. They are on the tell side of the spectrum. They are used to telling people what they're supposed to do. And then they don't really listen, especially if people are speaking about their emotions. As you can imagine, again, this is not a very great way to build their relationship. So this was the first communication preference, driver. I hope you will continue to the next communication preference, expressive.